The Konoha Crush arc is the moment the shinobi world stops pretending to be stable. It's the moment childhood ends for Naruto and his peers, the moment illusions of peace are burned to ash by betrayal and ambition. This is not a training exam. This is war. And unlike the battles they've faced so far, this time there's no safety net. Villages fall, heroes die, and an entire generation is forced to confront what it means to live in a world where strength is currency, and legacies are written in blood. The arc begins while the Chunin Exams are still underway. The village is watching its young prodigies clash in the final rounds, completely unaware that the entire tournament has been a trap. Beneath the cheering crowds and smiling dignitaries, Orochimaru's plan unfolds in silence. Every detail has been prepared, every weakness anticipated. The Sound Village and the Hidden Sand, two of the Leaf's supposed allies, are poised to strike. And at the center of it all is Orochimaru himself, a man who once wore the Leaf's headband, now returned to destroy everything he once served. His target is not the genin, not the crowd, not the village infrastructure. It is the Third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Because to Orochimaru, this is not just warfare, it is personal. Hiruzen was his teacher, his leader, and ultimately his greatest disappointment. The Konoha Crush is more than an invasion. It is a vendetta, a theater of cruelty staged to settle the score between master and student, to destroy the legacy that rejected him. When the invasion begins, it is immediate and merciless. Genjutsu washes over the crowd like a wave, sending thousands into unconsciousness. Explosions echo through the streets. Sand ninja transform into monstrous weapons. Sound ninja assault from all angles. The chaos is overwhelming, and the young genin, still thinking they were in a tournament, are suddenly plunged into real combat. Meanwhile, the Third Hokage is trapped atop the arena with Orochimaru and two summoned horrors, the first and second Hokage, resurrected through a forbidden jutsu. The past literally rises from the dead to attack the present. Hiruzen, already aged and weary, must fight not only his former student, but his own former mentors. It is one of the most thematically dense fights in Naruto, not because of choreography, but because of what it represents. Generational conflict, regret, legacy, the burdens of leadership. As Hiruzen battles the two former Hokage, his mind drifts back to the past. He remembers Orochimaru as a boy, brilliant, ambitious, dangerous even then. He remembers the potential, the power, and the moment he chose not to stop him. Hiruzen's tragedy is that he saw the darkness in Orochimaru, but chose to believe in his better nature. That failure, the failure to act when it mattered, is the price he now pays with his life. Orochimaru, ever the manipulator, taunts him throughout. He knows this is not just a physical battle. It is a psychological execution. He accuses Hiruzen of weakness, of hypocrisy, of failing the village, of letting it rot from the inside while pretending to uphold its values. And there is truth in the cruelty. The Leaf, for all its greatness, has buried many sins, and Hiruzen, as its leader, has carried both the glory and the guilt. Back on the ground, the younger generation is scattered. Sasuke is sent after Gaara, who has fled the arena mid-transformation. Sakura and Naruto follow, and while the elders fight for the fate of the village, the children are left to confront what the mission has become. A battlefield. There are no rules, no hand-raising proctors. There is only instinct, survival, and fear. Gaara, manipulated since childhood, begins to lose control of the one-tailed beast inside him. His transformation is not just physical, it is symbolic. The weapon he was trained to become has broken its chain. He is the embodiment of what happens when shinobi are turned into tools of war without compassion, without human connection. Sasuke, though skilled, is outmatched. He pushes his new cursed seal powers to the limit, but it isn't enough. And so it falls to Naruto to stop Gaara. What makes this confrontation so powerful isn't just the stakes, it's the parallel. Naruto and Gaara are reflections of each other. Both were isolated as children. Both carry demons inside them. Both were told, in different ways, that they were unwanted. But where Gaara embraced hatred to give himself purpose, Naruto found connection. Through Iruka, through Kakashi, through Sakura and Sasuke, Naruto began to build something Gaara never had: bonds. The battle between them is not just physical, it is ideological. It is love versus pain, light versus isolation. And Naruto, in his clumsy, loud, relentlessly hopeful way, wins not by defeating Gaara, but by reaching him, by reminding him what it feels like to be human. When the dust settles, Gaara lies broken not just in body, but in spirit. And for the first time, he questions everything. That moment of doubt will become the seed of redemption in a character who once seemed beyond saving. Elsewhere, the battle between Orochimaru and Hiruzen reaches its tragic conclusion. Realizing he cannot defeat Orochimaru outright, Hiruzen prepares to make the ultimate sacrifice. With the Reaper Death Seal, he summons a force that can consume souls, at the cost of his own. He targets not Orochimaru's life, but his arms, the source of his jutsu. In doing so, he doesn't kill his former student. He cripples him, cuts away the hands that perform jutsu. And in that final act, Hiruzen offers a haunting truth. It is the duty of the old to make way for the new. He dies not in triumph, but in service to the village he loved. Surrounded by fire, his final thoughts are of his students, not just Orochimaru, but Jiraiya, Tsunade, and the generations who followed. He dies believing that they can carry on the will of fire, a belief in love, sacrifice, and the village, above all else. When the dust clears, the hidden leaf stands. But it is not a victory. It is a wound. Buildings lie in rubble. The Hokage is dead. The future is uncertain. But within that ruin is also the beginning of something new. Naruto has grown. Gaara has changed. And the world, shaken by Orochimaru's treachery, is forced to recognize that peace is a fragile illusion. The Konoha Crush arc is a turning point in Naruto because it ends the age of innocence. It removes the training wheels. It says, without apology, that death is real, that heroes can fall, and that the future will be shaped by how we carry that pain forward. It is also an arc about legacy, about what we leave behind. Hiruzen leaves behind a village that still believes. Orochimaru leaves behind chaos and resentment. Naruto, unknowingly, begins leaving behind a trail of changed hearts, starting with Gaara. The arc also subtly reshapes the cast. With Hiruzen gone, the question of succession looms. The search for Tsunade begins. Jiraiya steps into the foreground, and the war between old ideals and new visions grows sharper. What began as a tournament ends as a funeral. And in that funeral, the core of Naruto's world is reborn. Not stronger, not safer, but more honest, more real, and more prepared for the long road ahead. Because in this world, power does not only destroy, it also defines. The Konoha Crush arc asks one simple question: what do you do when the village you love is burning? And Naruto's answer, as always, is to protect it with everything he has. Not because he's strong, not because he's chosen, but because he understands that bonds are worth fighting for, even in the darkest moments, especially then.